up you guys? This is Rob from Plays, and today on the hit list, the tradition lives on when we target my top 5 favorite secondaries in-game. So this is the second year that we've been doing this particular countdown, and honestly, last year didn't have anything too insane on the list. In fact, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I really struggled to come up with something decent to present. However, this year is a completely different story, featuring weapons I slept on, weapons that are just hilarious to use, as well as some tried and true favorites. Now, as always, a disclaimer, this is my list of favorite secondaries, not a tier list of the most powerful weapons in game. But do be aware that after 3,500 hours of in-game mission time, these are the weapons that I reach for on the regular. With that said, let's start scratching off targets. At number 5, the Staticor delivers a fistful of fun. To be honest with you, this one not only cracked me up with DE's creativity, managing to translate both fighting games and anime references into a fireball launching weapon, but also surprised me in its effectiveness. With the ability to charge up your projectiles, you have the option of releasing a fast flurry of static orbs, or several slow-moving titans of death, which expands its detonation radius up to a max of 8 meters. It deals a decent chunk of damage and also spreads status fairly quickly. In addition to all that, the weapon itself is absolutely gorgeous and has some insanely entertaining visual effects and sound design. If at any point you are feeling a bit burnt out with the game and looking for something to spice up your experience, this is definitely a weapon I'd point you to using. Following that up, at number 4 comes the Pox. While the model itself still grosses me out far too much, I have to admit with the right elemental combos, these things are beastly. Empowered with the secondary weapon's ability to adopt triple shot, these babies stack up status effects quite quickly. They also do an insane job at stripping armor, deal a substantial chunk of damage as long as you've got decent aim, and aren't half bad for a quick dose of crowd control. As many of you know, it takes a lot for me to recommend a status weapon, even more so one that looks this squishy. Next up, the Atomos is the only return guest from last year's hit list. Y'all know I had to put at least one cum gun in the rankings, right? It's like affirmative action for semen-based weapons. However, let's be real, this thing got here on its own merit. With its ability to bounce its hot steamy streams from one enemy to another, the Atomos can literally path behind walls and around corners, splattering on any targets that wander into range, allowing you to whittle down enemies before they even have the chance to engage. Its unique mechanics give it the ability to be successful at not only thinning a crowd, but also quickly tearing down nullifier bubbles, which isn't necessarily a combo that's currently available in game. Plus, it matches all of the new Tenogen Grack skins. Now, sitting at number 2 is the Piranha. To be completely honest with you, this one totally snuck under my radar. When I first reviewed it back in the day, we didn't have access to the primed or alkalite mods that we do now. And honestly, at that point in time, it was a bit underpowered and I just completely forgot about it. However, this automatic secondary shotgun with my current upgrades fires off up to 33 pellets per shot, has a 57% critical chance, just under 85 if you manage to get a headshot with hydraulic crosshairs, has a 50% chance to apply status, and is slash based. Now, while this will need a bit of auxiliary help when it comes to dealing with extremely high armored targets on escalating missions, it easily makes mincemeat out of anything in the star chart, including Kuba floods. So before we move on to my favorite secondary weapon of the year, we do have a few honorable mentions. At number 6 comes a Twin Gricada. This thing has a solid accuracy and insane fire rate. Coupled with strong supplemental stats, this definitely packs a punch. However, its slow reload, poor ammo economy, and ugly model kept it from climbing its way onto the list. At number 7 comes one of my tried and true favorites, the Maradetron. No damage fall off, a base that allows you to combo for effectiveness against all armor types, and a weapon specific mod that gives it a boost towards shielding. Pack that all into a sexy model and I am definitely a fan. Lastly, at number 8 we have the Atomos, which is the 100-day login reward. Now, it's definitely not the most effective thing out there, but I do like the way it feels to shoot, and its secondary fire sets up a turret which fires in a 360-degree rotation that's awesome at popping nullifier bubbles. All in all, it's a great for fun weapon. Finally, we arrive at number 1, and I think that it comes at no surprise that the Axolotl has climbed its way to the top. High accuracy, insanely fast reload speed, strong supplemental stats, and a solid ammo economy give this beast enough oomph to take down a level 145 bombard in less than 2 clips without any kind of outside help. Honestly, this rivals many of the high-end rifles currently in game. Combine its insane effectiveness with one of the most gorgeous prime skins out there, and this set of pistols is the entire package. I think what really appeals to me is the fact that this allows me to play with more unique primary and melee weapons, knowing that if their more niche mechanics fail me, I've got something solid to fall back on. As you know, I'm a big proponent of placing more importance on fun than on the meta, but let's face it, when things get a bit more serious than you expected, it's great to be able to whip this baby out. Basically what I'm saying is that this is the condom of secondary weapons. Always make sure that you come prepared. So I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Just keep in mind that these are only my favorite weapons of this year. As we all know, DE is always innovating and adding lots of new and interesting weapons weapons into the mix, as well as introducing new mods that can breathe new life into older weapons. As I've always said, love nothing, because you never know exactly what tomorrow will bring. However, until then, this is what happens to bring me joy. Now, don't hesitate to leave me the secondaries that bring you joy in the comments below. Honestly, if it wasn't for a few players pushing me to take a second look at the Piranha, I may have never revisited it in the first place. Nevertheless, found a new favorite. So thank you all for watching this episode of The Hit List. If you haven't checked out last year's for comparison, I'll toss up a link here, as well as one to my latest 10 Gen haul. Now don't forget to do all the things that I ask you to do at the end of every one of these, and as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!